If Niccolo Machiavelli were alive today, he wouldn't be writing books. He wouldn't be publishing essays, giving lectures, or begging for visibility in a world that rewards noise over wisdom. No, he would be silent, invisible, unstoppable. While the masses fight for attention, Machiavelli would sit in the shadows, pulling strings so delicately that it would feel like destiny itself moving the pieces. Because in a world addicted to visibility, he would dominate through invisibility. And today, you will see exactly how. Not with quotes, not with history lessons, but with doctrine. 21 psychological rules for absolute control. Rules Machiavelli himself would use if he were alive today, navigating boardrooms, politics, networks, and the silent wars of perception. Rules that don't just describe power, but give it. So listen closely, for men are still judged more by the eye than the hand. Control how they see you, and you control what they do. Power is never safest when flaunted. It's safest when dismissed. Today, everyone is in a race to prove themselves. Credentials displayed like trophies, achievements shouted across feeds, dominance announced with every gesture, every word. But Machiavelli would never enter loud. He would enter last. He would watch first. And he would speak only when no one expected him to. And when he spoke, the entire room would shift. Because in their eagerness to dismiss the quiet one, the harmless one, the one who seemed too small to matter, they revealed themselves completely. That's when he would strike. From a position no one ever prepared for. So let them think you're timid. Let them think you're irrelevant. Let them think you pose no threat. Because invisibility is not weakness. It is camouflage. And camouflage always wins. We live in an age where truth drowns beneath perception. What spreads isn't accuracy but appearance. Not honesty, but illusion. And Machiavelli understood. People don't believe what is real. They believe what pleases them. So he would never waste energy proving integrity. He wouldn't fight to be good. He would fight to appear good. He would smile in boardrooms while quietly shifting power beneath the table. He would disarm enemies with friendliness, feed them false confidence, and let charm coil around them like velvet chains. Because charm blinds faster than arguments. Charm lowers defenses faster than facts. And when they love you, when they trust you, when they crown you a hero, you can betray them in silence, and they will thank you for the knife. The modern mind craves clarity. Everyone wants to be understood, labeled, defined. Machiavelli would do the opposite. He would confuse you. One day warm, the next day cold. One day generous, the next ruthless. Sometimes visible, sometimes gone. Not because he is uncertain, but because you are. Confusion breeds obsession. Obsession breeds focus. And focus becomes control. When people cannot define you, they cannot ignore you. You become a puzzle, and puzzles demand to be solved. They will analyze your silences, overinterpret your gestures, rewrite your intentions, and in trying to understand you, they orbit you. That is control. So stop over-explaining, stop clarifying, stop filling every silence, leave gaps, speak in riddles, smile at questions you refuse to answer, because ambiguity is not weakness, it is gravity. In an age where every move is broadcast, Machiavelli would master the art of concealment. Today, everyone reveals their steps, sharing updates, posting progress, announcing strategy. But the moment people see how you move, they prepare counter moves. They build narratives, they form alliances against you. So what would Machiavelli do? He would separate appearance from reality. He would make his public actions look transparent, while his private actions stayed invisible. He would seem noble while moving ruthlessly. He would smile while dismantling. He would appear still while building empires in silence. The feed is the theater. The factory stays hidden, so control the stage, guard the backstage, and never reveal the mechanics of your power until the performance is already complete. Perfection isn't magnetic. Perfection is forgettable. Machiavelli would build a flawless mask, calm, intelligent, unshakable, but only to break it at the right moment. A sharp word, a sudden flash of anger, a glimpse of vulnerability, carefully released, never accidental. Because people don't obsess over what they fully understand. They obsess over what feels just out of reach. Give them 90% of the story, then close the book. They'll chase the missing 10% for years. Be the light, then reveal the shadow. Be the saint, then hint at the devil, and close the curtain before they can confirm either. You won't be remembered for the mask. You'll be remembered for the glimpse of what lay beneath it. Power isn't in the abundance of words. Power is in their scarcity. The one who explains too much reveals weakness, the need to be understood, the craving for validation, the fear of silence. But the one who says little controls everything. Machiavelli would use words like blades, not blankets. In a negotiation, in a conflict, in a tense silence, he would drop one sentence, two at most, and then he would stop. That silence, it would echo louder than a speech. Why? Because silence forces projection. They will wonder what you know. They will wonder what you are planning. They will write entire stories in their minds. And you become the villain they cannot defeat. So do not speak to be understood. Speak to be feared. Say less, mean more, and let silence become your sharpest weapon. Weak men argue, strong men redefine. When the crowd drags you into their fight, you've already lost. You're dancing on their stage with their music under their lights. Machiavelli would never fight on someone else's terms. He would shift the stage itself. If accused, he wouldn't defend. He would accuse back. If challenged, he wouldn't resist. He would change the question. If cornered, he would move the walls of the room until the corner disappeared. Power isn't about winning the argument. It's about making sure your argument is the only one that matters. So don't wrestle in the mud. Redefine the ground beneath them. Because the one who controls the frame already controls the outcome. Gratitude fades. Need endures. If people admire you, they will soon forget you. If they fear you, they may eventually resist you. But if they need you, they can never leave you. Machiavelli would not simply win loyalty. He would manufacture dependence. The advisor who knows secrets no one else does. The strategist who sees what others cannot. The resource no one can replace. That is how power lasts. Not by being loved, not by being feared, but by being indispensable. So never give someone full independence. Always keep the one key they cannot find anywhere else. And they will guard you, serve you, defend you. Not because they want to, but because they must. Impatience is the confession of the powerless. The desperate strike too soon. The insecure reveal too early. Machiavelli would wait, and in waiting, he would become terrifying. Because patience is not passivity. Patience is pressure. The longer you wait, the more they wonder. The longer you wait, the more they weaken. The longer you wait, the sharper your strike becomes. A premature attack reveals your hand. A delayed attack reveals your dominance. So move slow, delay answers, stretch silences, because time is not neutral. Time is a blade, and the one who wields it can cut deeper than any sword. Unity is dangerous. It gives the weak a collective strength they do not deserve. Machiavelli knew that no empire falls from the outside if it is strong on the inside. So he would fracture it from within, not with war, but with whispers. Not with force, but with friction. A subtle word to one ally about another. A quiet seed of doubt planted in private. A gentle nudge that turns factions against each other. When they fight among themselves, they cannot fight you. When they suspect each other, they forget to suspect you. So never face an enemy united. Shatter their trust, multiply their divisions, and watch as their fortress collapses. Not by your attack, but by their own hands. The enemy they expect you to strike is a shield. The true weakness always hides elsewhere. Machiavelli would never waste power on the strongest wall. He would study the foundations, the cracks, the supports no one guards because no one thinks they matter. And then he would break the structure from the bottom. When they prepared for a direct assault, he would move in silence. When they expected rage, he would bring calm. When they thought they knew his enemy, he would already be dismantling the one behind the curtain. So don't fight where they are ready. Fight where they are blind, because the greatest victories are the ones no one saw coming. Love is a luxury. Fear is insurance. People may love you today and betray you tomorrow. But fear lasts. Fear binds. Fear makes betrayal dangerous. Machiavelli knew the crowd admires the kind ruler, until the storm comes. Then they turn on him in search of the stronger hand. But the ruler who inspires fear, he is not abandoned when the storm comes. He is the storm. This doesn't mean cruelty for cruelty's sake. No, it means measured terror, controlled unpredictability, the certainty that betrayal carries a price too high to pay. Be admired if you can, but if you must choose, let them fear losing you more than they enjoy loving you. No one rebels harder than the one who feels cornered. No one obeys more faithfully than the one who believes they chose freely. Machiavelli would never force obedience. He would design choices. 2 doors, both leading where he wanted. 2 paths, both ending in his hand. And the people would walk proudly believing they chose their fate, never realizing the decision was scripted long before they arrived. That is control. Not chaining them, but guiding them with invisible rails. So never say, do this. Say, would you prefer this or that? And let them thank you for the freedom they never had. Presence is power, but absence is obsession. When you're always visible, they grow numb. Familiarity breeds contempt. But when you withdraw, when you disappear, when your silence lingers in the air like smoke, you become larger than life. Machiavelli would not attend every gathering. He would not answer every call. He would not appear often. But when he did, it mattered. Scarcity makes diamonds valuable. Scarcity makes words unforgettable. So step back, withhold, retreat at the peak of their desire. And when you return as if from another world, carrying a weight they cannot measure. Because absence, when mastered, doesn't make you forgotten. It makes you unforgettable. Reality is negotiable. Reputation is not. What you are can be hidden. What they believe you are, that decides everything. Machiavelli knew men judge by appearances more than truth, so he would guard his reputation like a weapon, ruthlessly, obsessively. If slander appeared, he would crush it instantly. If a rumor spread, he would twist it until it served him. If perception shifted, he would sacrifice anything, even morality, to preserve the mask. Because power does not belong to the one who is strong. It belongs to the one who is seen as strong. So let reality bend, but let reputation stand. For reputation is the throne upon which all power sits. Desire is endless. Give people what they crave fully and they grow restless. Deny it completely and they revolt. Machiavelli would move in the space between. He would feed desire, but never fulfill it. He would offer glimpses, promises, fragments, enough to ignite, never enough to extinguish. Because a satisfied crowd grows lazy, but a hungry crowd follows endlessly. So never give them what they want. Give them just enough to keep wanting, for desire is the leash that never snaps. Truth is slow, rumor is fast. Machiavelli knew perception always outruns reality, so he would never wait for the facts. He would set the story first. And once the story is set, reality must bend to it. By the time truth arrives, it finds the throne already occupied. So don't defend against rumors, create them. Don't wait for accusations. Frame the stage before they form. He who defines the story first defines the battlefield forever, and the crowd does not remember the facts. They remember the version of events they heard first. Predictability is comfort. Unpredictability is terror. When they know your rhythm, they prepare their shields. When they cannot predict you, they live in fear of the unknown. Machiavelli would never move in straight lines. He would wait longer than expected, then strike sooner than expected. He would reward disobedience once, punish loyalty the next. Why? Because uncertainty itself is control. The man who cannot be predicted cannot be defended against. So never let them map your patterns. Break your rhythm. Shift your timing. Be the storm they never see coming. The strongest rulers are never touched directly. Machiavelli would never stand exposed. He would rule through proxies, messengers, intermediaries. If a decision failed, the blame fell on others. If blood was spilled, the knife was never in his hand. Layers create distance. Distance creates deniability. Deniability creates invincibility. So build barriers. Use shadows. Place others between you and the consequence. And let the world strike at phantoms while you remain untouched in the dark. Half measures are invitations for revenge. A wounded enemy heals. And when he does, he returns sharper, angrier, more dangerous. Machiavelli's law was clear. If you must strike, strike so completely that recovery is impossible. Do not embarrass them, erase them. Do not weaken them, dismantle them. Mercy may win applause, but destruction wins silence. And silence is the only guarantee of peace. So if you must move against an enemy, do not leave fragments. Leave ruins. In every age, power hides where no one thinks to look. Today it isn't only in thrones, armies, or titles. It's in networks, systems, algorithms. Machiavelli would never fight for the stage. He would control the curtain. He would never fight for the crown. He would own the hands that place it. He would be unseen, yet everywhere. A whisper in the code, a shadow in the law, a ghost in the system. And when power shifts, when empires collapse, when leaders rise and fall, he remains. Because he was never the face. He was always the force. So remember this. Machiavelli's rules are not history. They are prophecy. The players change. The technology evolves. The stage transforms. But human nature does not. People are still blinded by charm, still enslaved by desire, still chained by fear, perception, and reputation. And those who understand this rule silently, invisibly, absolutely. So let others chase attention. Let others scream for recognition. Let others waste themselves in noise. You will not. You will walk in silence. You will shape perception. You will bend reality. And when the crowd finally looks for the one who moved the world, they will not find you. They will only find your shadow.